Bassmaster Classic recap 2025 live from Orlando, Florida, Universal Studios. What's going on? We are on remote location from the Lowe's Pacific Royal Resort or something like that. How's everybody doing tonight? We're going to give my recap of my classic adventures as best to my abilities solo show tonight. I know Easton Fothergill's on the thumbnail. No Easton Fothergill on the show, if that's what you're thinking. Presented by Arsenal Fishing, boosted by Powerhouse Lithium. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Scott, Trevor, Ryan, Michael? Got some baits here. I don't know who this person is. This person must be a bot. Darius, what's going on, everybody? Sounds good. Looks good. Using the new mic on the remote setup. So hopefully that's working well. Got this beautiful small hotel room. It's really crowded when you got 4 people in here. But I'm going to give my classic thoughts and rundowns. Let's see here. So overall, first of all, right, let's give kudos to the champ, Easton Fothergill, winning in dominated fashion, even though he only caught 5 bass on the last day, but he blew it open with that last fish catch. That kudos to him. That was awesome. Probably one of the best. It's going to go down as one of the best fish catches all time, Bassmaster Classic history, maybe in tournaments. Like it was pretty awesome. I mean, to think it wasn't that long ago. We had Easton on the live stream talking about coming back, getting cleared from his emergency surgery in his brain to winning the bracket where he beat Tucker Smith. And then basically a year later, he's won 2 Bassmaster Opens, won the Bassmaster Open EQs, had a rough start to his Elite Series, but then won the Bassmaster Classic in convincing record-setting fashion, beating the Clun record for 21 fish. You like my lay? It's lit up. What do you guys think? Should we keep wearing this? This is what's left of the work social tonight. But I will say, he did not do great for me the first 2 weeks in Florida for tournaments fantasy fishing, but I did get laid. I stuck with him. I had him on my Drain the Lake team, which I started from the beginning. I picked him for fantasy fishing, even though he was in bucket D, not after a great start. I put my money down him at the St. Jude fundraiser for Glenn Walker at Waypoint Angler Supply. And all of those things paid large dividends. I was interviewed by Bass After Dark. I don't know if that video ever made it out, but they asked me who was going to win the Classic. I told only gave one answer to the phone I was being interviewed by Brian the Carpenter, and I said Easton Fothergill. So I'm just going to say I called it. Yeah, I caught a little bit of the BTL. I didn't have time to listen to it all. But yeah, and then we had Easton on right after he won the Opens EQ. And I think we all knew his future was pretty bright from there on out. So excited for Easton. Honestly, super great kid. Awesome. Super easy to root for. Anybody that is trying to tear him down because of LiScope or technology or any of that kind of stuff is straight trash. Like, I promise you, whatever you think of front-facing sonar, Easton will take your lunch money any way you want. I'll say that right now. He's damn good. So, yeah, next year, Knoxville. Already see Darius again. I'll plan to be there. Michael was smart enough to put Easton on his team. But yeah, Knoxville should be good next year. Easton's already qualified, right? Returning champ. So we can watch Easton Fothergill on the water. I don't believe anyone from Minnesota's ever won the Classic, to my knowledge. So yeah, exciting. Proud of him. Good dude. Fished against him. I don't know if I've ever. The only time I guess I fished against him in the 3 Opens this year and beat me every time. Shocker. I think he cashed. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he just missed a check at St. Clair and then had solid. I mean, he won Leach and then had a solid check in lacrosse, like top 20. But he's definitely taken a lot of entry fees from a lot of people I know in Minnesota in team tournaments and things like that. So yeah, I got into, just kind of walk through it. We give kind of Easton his flowers. I said Beeston before Mercer said Beeston, if we were going to set the record straight. You can timestamp my social media posts, and I definitely said Beeston before Mercer said Beeston on the weigh-in stage. Just saying. Minneapolis would not be a good classic because they just don't want it. Like Minneapolis, Minnetonka does not want the classic. And I don't know. I mean, the convention centers allow decent ways from Minnetonka. Traffic would be pretty brutal. Yeah, I don't see it happening. And obviously it would have to be a summer classic. But I do have my tackle, which we'll get into. So I'll share all the goodies I got from the classic here towards the end. So I flew Wednesday morning through Detroit to Dallas, Fort Worth. Uneventful flight to Dallas. And then somehow the fuel truck ran into the back of the plane I was supposed to be on. So we were delayed. So I got in late to Dallas. It was very windy through the middle part of the country, so it was a very bumpy flight and landing. You think I'll be monotone speeding through the weigh-ins, MJ? Unreal. But we got in there. Traffic was terrible. Got the rental car, got to the Hilton, got my media credentials. Went to the Powerhouse Lithium House. We had some steaks for dinner, hung out with the crew there. We did a live Wednesday night from the Powerhouse, kind of a little classic preview. That was fun. Signal was a little iffy at that house, but we did it. I think I called Easton the victor in that preview. Thursday helped a little bit with the Expo setup for Powerhouse Lithium. And then I went to the media day, which was pretty cool. It was at Bass Pro Shops in Grapevine, Texas, which was quite, I mean, that's like 30 minutes north of the convention center. Did the media day, did some stuff for Aquaview, getting some videos for them. Got some video. I think I interviewed 17 of the 56 anglers at media day. So that was kind of fun. Had my new mic set up for that. Posted a bunch of things to social. Do I order my steak correct? I mean, we grilled the steaks at home, but I'm a medium rare kind of guy, Daniel. Hope that's okay with you. Yeah, so I posted a bunch of social media from that. I got a couple more videos still coming out from that potentially. But that was fun to be able to sit down. They had some good food. Bass Pro or Bassmaster put out a good spread for the media there. Very busy. I think somebody said there was 150 media credentialed people there with only 50. So there was basically 3 medias for every angler at the media event. Lasted about 3 hours, like noon to 3. Went shopping at Bass Pro. Picked up something. Not much. How do you get the media ID for that? There is an application page on Bassmaster, which you fill out, and not everybody gets it. You actually have to have some credentials to get approved, but Bassmaster either approves or denies your media credentials. I know BBC and TK also filled it out, and neither one of them were approved. But I've gotten media passes the last 3 years for the Bassmaster Classic. So my only purchase at Bass, maybe I don't even have these. Did I bring these? Maybe I shipped these back with my other stuff. I don't think I have. Maybe I sent those, unless they're in a different bag. I bought a couple of the roll minnows or rocker minnows or like whatever Bass Pro Shops like stock them out of shad. I bought 2 packs of those just to check them out. I thought I had them here, but maybe I put them in a different bag. So I bought those from Bass Pro Shops just to look at those and see how they would compare. No review yet, but I bought some to check them out. And then otherwise, we had talked about going out Thursday night, but we got back to the house and there was no motivation. So we were staying in Benson. We were like 25 minutes south of Fort Worth. So by the time we got back there was no motivation. We had burgers grilled at the house. Nobody wanted to go up to the stockyards on Wednesday night or Thursday night. So we just hung out at the house, got ready for the day. Yeah, the Rockin' Shad. XBS Rockin' Shad. I bought 2 packs of those to evaluate. So we'll probably do a video or review. I just don't think I have them handy. Unless I could go look in my bag one more time just to make sure I didn't miss them. I did not see them. Do not see them. I think they are en route to Minneapolis. I had to ship some stuff because I had too much stuff. I don't see them in here anywhere. Or I lost them. One of the two. Anyways. So Friday, got to the show at maybe 9 o'clock. It didn't open till 11. Walked around ahead of time, got some videos, did some things. We bought, before the show started, we grabbed a few things. So they were only allowing 4 at a time for the baby jacks. So these are the new Jackhammer baby jacks. So I'll probably keep a couple of them. Some of them might throw up as prizes for St. Jude or throw them on whatnot. But I grabbed a couple 3/8 and 1/2 ounce different colors of the baby jack. So I'll probably do a video on them, comparing them to a full-size jackhammer to give you a... but I do have some. If somebody really wants to get their hands on them, I think these are the 2 I'm going to keep because I think I'm going to throw these on the Vermilion for the Champs Tour, the first event. Like this color I really like on Vermilion. So we'll see. Baby jacks. And then while I was there, I also got... the classic color 110s. The GP Baby Kingos. Baxter the Baitman asked me to grab these for him, so I did. But that's the limited classic Elise there. Yeah, Jay, it was a good time. You're going to have to get your Strike Force, figure out how to get into a booth for Knoxville. Yeah, it seems like they're not super released because you're talking about the baby jack or are you talking about the mega bass? I feel like they're going to be readily available not too long. And then I also went back, got my Cycle 4 JB backs. I got 1 regular one and 1 +1 for myself to determine whether these are prizes or St. Jude raffles or whatnot. But I don't know. So I do have 1 of each. I had a lot of people reach out asking me to get them the Mega Bass color. I ran out of time. Didn't have time to get all those, to be honest. Strike King is coming out with their Tumbleweed. They're still kind of expensive, but not. Yeah, Omnia should have them soon. Yeah, the Baby Jack. I think they'll be available pretty soon. So from there, we bopped around, talked to a lot of people. I did not really take in the Celebrity Pro-Am that happened on, was it Tuesday? I was kind of getting all my work done, so I didn't really see any of that. Traffic was bad moving around in Fort Worth. That made things difficult to want to get to the house and back up to Fort Worth, stockyards, things like that. But overall, I spent a lot of time. So every day I would like hang out like 1 to 3 in the Powerhouse booth, but the rest of the time I'd be walking around the expo, talking to people, visiting booths, looking at tackle, um, talking to people that would flag me down, talking to people that you know, just run into anglers, thank previous guests that have been on the live stream. Um, I didn't think urinal traffic was that bad at the at least at the expo. I don't know what it was like out in the stockyards. So Monday, I mean Friday was mainly, other than when I hung out in the Powerhouse Lithium booth for like 1 to 3, it was pretty much just walking around and talking to people. And yeah, sounds like Strike Force, Jay Beffa. I mean, you could probably find somebody to co-op with you, right? Somebody from your area, want somebody else that does tackle, Omega, somebody like that. You know what? I didn't. Dexter from Powerhouse told me I should go look at the Top Cat. I walked by it a couple times, but I didn't really look at it. I didn't really like scout it out. The Top Cat. I probably should have. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was the. I found myself using the upstairs restroom mostly on the second floor, so maybe that's why. Yep. So I had to chase Walter, flagged him by as he walked by the Powerhouse booth. Got your cell phone. We'll figure that out. Yeah. So one of the things I bought really early was the hair jigs from Juice's Jigs. So we had Juice's Jigs. We had Jared on. And so Kent Middlestat wanted a couple jigs, so I bought some for him. Oh, well, he's going to show up. But these are the hair Mickey. Like maybe the next evolution of minnows will be hair. But got some of these. And I think he ended up selling out on Saturday and Sunday. But 4 of these are for Kent Middlestat, and then 2 of them, these are mine. I know I got a couple from Jarrett when he was on my stream, but I bought a couple more. So I got some of the custom hair from Juice Jigs from Lucky Lure Tackle Box. Those are some pretty good dudes at Lucky Lure Tackle Box for those that are anywhere near Oklahoma City. I feel like, yeah, there must be something else because, yeah, I also see something else that's not in here that I bought. So that must be where my minnows are, hopefully. Yeah, Knoxville's pretty easy to get around, and you don't have to get around because everything is right there. Like you can literally walk from. I mean, it's a decent walk from weigh-in to the landing to the expo, but it's doable. Like you don't need it for sure. What's up, RJ? Awesome hanging out with RJ, the Powerhouse crew. You tried out the flip around and find out. I held them in my hands, but I have not tried them out. I mean, super stoked. We kind of started the show with my thoughts on Easton, Minnesota Wild fan, so you could probably hop back to the beginning and then watch it on 1.2 speed and get caught up or catch the replay. But yeah, I mean, if you're not stoked for Easton, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, they're definitely smaller than the chicken jigs, like considerably smaller. Like it's more of like a 5-inch Sakamata shad profile versus like a giant piece of hair. Yeah, that would be interesting to see if we see an evolution where hair starts to replace plastics. But we've had Easton on a couple times on the show here. If you go back to the replay archives, Easton's a good dude. So yeah, I got those early. Spent time walking around, not buying stuff, checking things out. Made some key contacts. talked to people. I ran like right away in the morning. I ran into Tacklecraft carrying, helping BBC Brendan carry his crankbaits up to the rattlesnake booth. Briefly said hi. People I saw. So I talked to TK, BBC, Caro. Got a hug from Caro. I talked to Eddie P. Talked to JP. First time I ever met him. Saw AJ again. Had a conversation with Gary Dobbins. I can report that Gary said he would come on live again, so we'll get that scheduled. So excited to have Gary back on the stream. Met Vince in the GSM booth, so it's good meeting Vince from Phoenix. Longtime West Coast dude. It was nice to meet him in person, so that was cool. Who else? I'm sure I'm missing people, but Logan Parks, talked to him at Media Day about future streams, learning about his Elon satellite and getting that potentially like some of the stuff learned from him about doing some lives on the water. We got Ben Milliken's number for a future live because we've talked about going live, but I never had his number before, and he doesn't get good about answering Instagram messages. So definitely talk to some pros. Cliff Pace got his number. Might talk about painting and lure crafting in balsa and having Cliff Pace on. There's probably some more people that I'm forgetting there. Let's see. That was most. I decided not to go to the weigh-in on Friday. Normally, I would go to the weigh-in and do the backstage media stuff, and I just didn't do. With the shorter trip I had, I just wanted to hang out at the expo, talk to people, do stuff like that. Because it was kind of a drive, and I had a good parking spot at the expo, and I was kind of thinking I wanted to go out on Thursday night. So I didn't want to go to the weigh-in because I know I would never make it back up to the stockyards. Turns out I never made it back up to the stockyards regardless. I mean, there was definitely old schoolers there. I really didn't talk to many anglers that I didn't already know. I mean, I talked to guys like Matty Wong and, people I know and have a relationship. I talked to a lot of the guys that I've had on streams and thanked them for coming on streams, but I don't like, there were times that I walked by Hackney and Denny Brower and, Ike and Van Dam. Could have easily walked up to him, but I didn't really. I don't know. I don't know what I would talk to him about. That's never been my thing to just kind of go talk to people I know, or if I had a conversation about a bait or something like that. But I mean, those, Jimmy was there. I know I saw Bill Dance. I don't remember. I think I saw Roland, but they were around mostly at the Bass Pro booth. I didn't see Tavin Dallard to the show. Cliff was there, but I did not see his comedian friend. Yeah. Clay ghosted me. So he's dead to me, Clay, just for the record. He was too cool. Battle Baits was not there, and I think there was no reason for. They were so behind. I would imagine that they were not interested in trying to get. They can't keep up with online orders, so it wouldn't make sense. So, Aaron, you're planning to go next year with kids 10 and under. Do they like fishing? Would they be interested in the weigh-ins and the expo, or are you looking for non-fishing things? And I guess I don't really know much about Knoxville. I mean, it's on a college campus, the college campus at Knoxville. But maybe Darius would have some ideas. Yeah. I mean, everybody you would just about would want to see. There was some MLF guys, like Skeet Reese wasn't there, those type of guys, but some of them were. I mean, yeah, Cliff Crochet, Stale Cracker, a lot of social media guys. I think some of the Googans were there. That's where Clay spent most of his time standing in line talking to the Googans. Yeah, I mean, if the kids love fishing, the expo, there's a lot. I mean, they have at the expo, I know this year they had a catfish pond. They definitely have different activities where kids can do casting things or do different activities. like way more than you would think for the Northwest Sports Show for like kids to do, like things where they can like get in line and get prizes and play little games. And I mean, I don't know if they like pros or if they, if they like Brandon Polinick or guys like Seth Fighter, or you can usually find all those people and talk to them and get autographs. But yeah, University of Tennessee's in Knoxville. But I mean, the Expo's got a lot. And the weigh-ins are kind of fun for kids. I think. I don't know if they would maybe want to do it more than one day because it's probably a lot. But like they have a lot of like stuff going on at the weigh-ins. You don't think Lee Livesey's 40 years old? I feel like Lee Livesey's probably 40 years old. I have no idea what steelhead tastes like. I mean, I don't know the whole story about Battle Baits. I did listen to a podcast. So, what's his name? He's a weird spelling, but I can't remember his name. But the dude grew up in like fly country. I want to say like Utah. He started doing baits out there and then moved up to the Northwest. And then he moved to, like, took a family trip to Branson, and they decided they want to settle down there and started building baits. And it was kind of a side project, and it became a full-time thing, and now it's kind of taken off. But he does spinner baits and jigs and things like that. Did Dallas have a bigger expo than Knoxville, in your opinion? They're definitely laid out much differently. Like Fort Worth was like 2 floors, 1 small floor upstairs and a bigger floor downstairs. Whereas like Knoxville's kind of a maze, Darius, right? Like you got a main floor and a ring and a center room, and then there's a second floor with little rooms you can go in on and a hallway, and then you go outside. So it's really hard to compare them because they're laid out so differently. I mean, 39 is pretty much 40. So I don't know what point you're trying to make, Patricia. Yeah, he's seems like a genuinely good dude. I can't think of his name right now though. Flint. It's Flint, but it's Flint with a Y. Why can't Smallmouth Classic? Because they don't do summer classics; they do them in the spring. So we would be out of season and frozen. That's the biggest reason. So unless they start moving the dates of the classic, then if they move the dates, we don't really have. Mille Lacs doesn't have anywhere to have an expo or a weigh-in indoors within a reasonable driving distance that I'm aware of for tens of thousands of people. What's up, Jermaine? I've never fished streams or creeks in New Jersey. I mean, yeah. I mean, if they went to the summer, right? Pittsburgh, St. Clair, there'd be a lot of cool places. I did check out several of the new rods, did some videos on them. I mean, the Caden rod seems pretty legit. The 610-1 that Trevor Lawrence talked about in one of my videos seems pretty legit. Looked at the Ecstasies, the swimbait rods. Yeah, I just don't think Tonka's ever going to be a thing. I think it's too far from the convention center, and I don't think they want them. So nobody's going to be forking out money around in Tonka to have a classic. Yeah, there was some kind of people talking about the Ecstasies, like, do you need a sensitive swimbait rod? No, but do you need a $400 glide bait? Probably not. So the guys that are buying Piz swim baits probably have no reservation about having a Ecstasy swim bait rod with a Conquest on it. So never underestimate the big bite guys willing to spend money. Got a hug from Caro. She got herself a new Powerhouse lithium battery for her yak. Is it already at your house, Caro? Did the battery beat you home? Minnesota Wild fan, check out the Beat HellaBass video on my channel. Yep. So Kara got her batteries, so her yak is going to be all blinged out. What else? You know, when I'm at the show, I really don't watch much of the live coverage. So I don't have a ton of opinion on live coverage because I'm so busy walking around, networking, talking to people, looking at baits, spend very little time watching the coverage or paying attention. What's up, Gravy? John Welsh. So don't really have a strong opinion on the coverage. I did watch the weigh-ins a little bit, and I actually did like. Now, some people didn't like the all access on YouTube weigh-in, where like Kyle Jesse and anglers and Ronnie Moore would talk about and give stats. I actually thought that was more interesting than the actual weigh-in itself, so I preferred that. I thought that was good. I like that for my preference. That was better than watching the actual weigh-in. You also have to know that like they don't, even though they say the weigh-in starts at like 3:00, they don't actually start weighing fish till 5:30. So if you know they don't start till 5:30, you don't need to get there before 5. You don't need to start watching before 5. But it does take forever. Yes, and the young anglers are putting in more work than most of the older guys in this sport. But Bill Lowen and Brandon Polinick won tournaments the first 2 events of the year. So I don't know what you're getting at, Patricia. I think they'd have to go a little later for a Table Rock Classic, like late March. Yeah, all in all, I had a great time. Like, good time. I met a lot of people, saw a lot of cool baits, talked a lot. I mean, like for me, I don't really take in the tournament as much when I'm there as I would. Like if I was home, I'd be glued to the live coverage. But when I'm there, I'm all about the people and the networking. And honestly, the best part is meeting all the people that say they watch the channel and love the videos and be checking out a Dobbins rod in the booth trying to get some content, and somebody comes up and asks me to sign their bucket because they watch my channel. Like that's the cool stuff. John Cox is 40. There was a fish. Well, there was a Ranger boat that was cut in half at the Expo that had a live well in it, and there was a bass in that live well the whole Expo. I don't know if they change the fish out every day, but there was fish in that live well. Yes, the fish do stay in the live well for the drive from the lake, but I believe the biologists check their live wells when they come off the water. They check the fish. They make any adjustments to water temperature. They add ice. They add oxygen if needed for that trip to the weigh-in stage. And then when they're done weighing in, those fish are immediately handed off to Texas fisheries or the local fisheries, and they're taken care of into like fishery management trucks. But is there a chance of like severe snow in Table Rock at that time of year? I don't know. Yeah, hot springs could be good, but it all comes down to if the chambers aren't asking for it and they're not putting up money, it's not going to happen. Sounds like Clay had a good time. BP is a good dude. Yeah, I'm not expecting to see you anytime soon, Clay. I think you're an imaginary chat bot on YouTube. I guess I did buy, so at Lucky Lure Tackle, there was this company, which is Willie Pete's Custom Baits. This is the Little Willie and Purple Gill. So this guy is a bait maker out of Oklahoma, He mainly sells through Lucky Lure, but this is a 5-inch glide, a 6-inch glide that weighs 1.6 ounces. Comes with owner STX 56 hooks, number 4s, but it's a nice looking bluegill gill. So I'm excited to try this. Looks like it's got a pin you can pull on the top, but yeah. What am I going to throw this on? Probably just like a moderate jig rod, like a 745, or maybe even a heavy chatterbait rod. Like, you don't need a swimbait rod to throw this, that's for sure. Yeah, a 764 would be good. Yeah, I'm hoping this is a good tournament size glide, so I'm excited. 75 bucks for this little guy. Seemed like a good dude. He was right next to Jarrett with the Juice hair jigs. So that's a new swim bait. And of course, I had to get a Tato and TK's paint job. Yeah, 734 would probably throw it fine. They make a 7-inch and it's only $100. So it's like the same size as like the KGB and the Tato and you know, a lot of those glides that are like $150 to $180, and his is $100. Like the Tato with TK's paint on it is $180. So there's the kind of cracked out shad. So I picked up one of those. Also grabbed one of these from Brian. So one of these is mine. The other one's for Brian K. We'll have to fight over the stickers, Brian. Used to date a cracked out shad gravy. But that's all the tackle I have handy. I did buy some biz baits, ringed heads. Bought the rockin' shads from XBS. I got a bunch of BKK hooks from the Save More Outdoors. I did buy some. I guess I do have a bladed jig somewhere from V&M. That must be in a different package as well. So I tried out the new, what they call it, Bayou Blade or something blade from V&M. There's a few other things I bought. They got sent home with. I bought some frogs for my buddy. I bought some of the Save More Outdoors frogs, the Hypnotoads. You can have a sticker, Brian. Oh, you spilled the drink on your keyboard. That's not good. I should mention that the St. Jude fundraiser is live. Many of you donated. Shout out to all of you that donated already. Much appreciated. More to come on that. I did put a video out on Monday about fishing the St. Jude. So there's a link if anybody wants to help out. That's coming up in May. Yeah, so Joe from Save More gave me and my buddy Dexter a 10-pack of every one of those hooks. So we got 100 BKK hooks when we walked in. So I got lots of BKK. So maybe those will be some. Maybe I'll share with those. Maybe do some giveaways with all the BKK hooks I got. I don't know if I'm ready for tournaments, but I'm ready to get the boat out when I get home. I can tell you that for free. I believe all the water is liquid again at home now that I'm getting home. Are the smaller tackle companies I think you're saying ROI, rate of return. Return on investment. I think it depends on how you market. Like you can't just necessarily show up and think the classic's going to be awesome. I think you got to put some marketing, word of mouth, some social media into it. Got to have some offers. But if you just think you're just going to set up something and be in a corner somewhere and just make a killing, I don't think that's necessarily going to. I know Core Tackle didn't make money last year at Tulsa. Yeah, and Omni's been sending out tackle sample packs as well. So waiting to pray says he wishes in Wisconsin right now. But yeah, I'll show off some of those hooks when I get home and some of the other stuff. I bought one of the V&M bladed jigs to try. They were like $10. I bought a couple black label balsas for Pat, who's been on the show before, and I bought the Hypnotoads for him. He wanted some baits. But yeah, I don't really understand the negativity around the classic. Overall, it was pretty good in my opinion. Like I said, yeah, throw out a link there for St. Jude if anybody wants to help out. For Dane and I, we'll probably do a special stream about that in the future as well. Baby jacks? You mean these? I only got 8 of them. I don't have much of an opinion. I haven't taken any out of the package yet. I'll probably do more of a review, look at them, comparison when I get home. But I'd grab a few just in case, Jermaine. Yeah, like I said, I didn't watch the live coverage, so I watched the highlights, the little clips. So I have no strong opinion on that. Yeah, I guess the blowback I'm talking about is the people like complaining that Easton is a front facing guy and he's young and it's all ruining fishing. I think that's all a bunch of hooey. So that's the stuff I don't get. If you have a complaint about the coverage or the live not being your favorite, that's fine. Yeah, they seem like they're all the same colors of the jackhammer. So if you like the colors in the jackhammer better, there's going to be more options than the Mini Max. Like, I'm pretty sure this Brett's Bluegill is not something you can get in the Mini Max. And yeah, so you can get all those favorite colors like Bee Height Delight in the Baby Jack and Green Pumpkin Shad. So if you like the colors of the jackhammer, those colors exist. Now, if you're just going to throw Green Pumpkin, then you can throw the Mini Max probably. But I haven't thrown it. I'll definitely go do some pond testing and give you an opinion on like how does it feel against the Mini Max versus like an Evo versus a jackhammer, etc. I got 3/8 and 1/2 ounce Baby Jacks. There was the last ones left at the show were the quarters. I don't know. Like I haven't taken them out. It seems a little thinner. It's definitely smaller. I don't know if it's thinner, but it's definitely a smaller aught for sure. It's a 3/0 decoy medium wire. That's what it says on the package. Agreed. Watching live fishing makes me want to fish more. It seems like some people tuning in here. Steady climb. I don't know how much longer we're going to go. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I spend a lot of time watching YouTube. Yeah, I throw more 5/8 or I throw more half ounce in the jackhammer, but I feel like if this is a smaller profile, a 3/8 should run like a half ounce jackhammer. That's my thought. You know, if I want that smaller profile. I'm tired of the lay. We're ditching the lay. Probably leaving this in the room here. I'm probably not going to haul this back. Cleaning lady can have the lay from Margaritaville. Yeah, hit the thumbs up if you can. I don't know what else. I'm hoping to do some pond hopping here in Florida tomorrow, but I don't know if I've heard back from the person that said that we can make it work. So we'll see. Otherwise, I'll be hanging out by the pool, making reels, and then flying out at 4 o'clock. Excuse me. I don't know. Any other questions about the Classic, the Expo, thoughts? I'm near Orlando. So, yeah, I left like 4 o'clock from the Expo on Saturday. Went to Dallas Fort Worth, returned my car, only to find out my flight was actually out of Dallas Love Airport. The nice people at Delta hooked me up and got me on a similar flight to Atlanta, then to Orlando, so I didn't have to change airports last minute. Met the family here in Orlando at about 12:30 in the morning. Maybe it was almost 1 by the time they got in. We went to the hotel here. Probably got to bed about 2:30. Got up, did the Universal thing all day on Sunday, and crashed. And then got up and did the Islands Adventure things most of the day on Monday. Had to come back for like an hour from 5 to 6 and register and go to a reception here at the hotel for work. And then we went back to the park from 7 to 9 Monday night. And then I did work conference the last 2 days. We're here now and hopefully fishing a little bit in the morning and flying home. Pink bladed jig thoughts. I don't know. I saw a little bit of it on coverage. I assume it's the new Morning Dawn jackhammer that came out. Doesn't surprise me. I don't know if I have a lot of confidence in it, but obviously, you know, pink jerkbaits have been a thing for quite some time, all the way back to like the X-Rap days. Yeah, bubblegum worms. So yeah, I flew home. I left Wednesday. I think my flight left, so I had to leave my house at like 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, and then I was like up early and up late every day through Saturday. Went to Orlando, and I've been going to parks and work conferences for the last 4 days, and I'll finally get home tomorrow night. So it's been a long 8 days, but it's been fun. I'm on it. I don't know if Marion's going to be my first stop or not, but I'm going to probably get out and hopefully get the boat out. I haven't looked at the weather. I used to throw red shad a ton, but I don't have a ton. Like, I am not one of those guys that throws a ton of Morning Dawn, Margarita Mutilator. I've caught some fish on it, but it's not something that's like my confidence. No new rods, no tools, no pliers. I mean, they had some. I didn't see much. I mean, there was a couple of knife shops at the Classic Expo, but you know, buying knives and taking them on a plane is just not a good thing. I'm not a big knife guy. I did have Dan from Arsenal Fishing came down. I walked him around the show a little bit on Friday. Yeah, the old boat has not sold, so you can pretty much plan to see the Slamus probably all season long at this point in videos. So probably make that a priority next fall. But I love the Slamus, so not sad about that. We should say that a couple more days left to use the Omnia code. So, you know, if they get in some of these, I mean, like the Great Lakes Finesse stuff that was released at the Classic is already at Omnia. Yeah, so hopefully we get the Slamus out at least for a little bit this weekend, get her wet. Maybe drop a minnow on some crappies, see what happens. The old cheater box live scope, as the boomers, the block it boomer bots like to say. But yeah, I don't know. Shout out to any of those people that stopped me at the classic and they're not active in the chats, but it was good to talk to. I mean, I talked to at least a dozen people that said they liked the channel and things like that, maybe more. It was cool. Gave some stickers to some people, gave some stickers to some kids. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, if somebody really wants to get it, maybe we'll work something out this summer, but I can't see myself going without a boat during tournament season. So, like, if somebody was really serious at this point, I'd be like, hey, can you we make an arrangement? You give me some money and put it down and we can pick it up in September. I don't know. But yeah, last call for questions. We'll probably keep this right at just under an hour. But that's kind of my classic. It was good. I enjoy it. I have a great time at the classics. I thoroughly enjoy going to the classics and hanging out, talking fishing, meeting people, looking at baits, making content. Um, that's why we do it. I don't know. That's why I do this, because I love fishing, love hanging out, love meeting the people that interact in the community. I did not watch BSL Part 2. I watched a little bit of the Fothergill. Maybe I'll listen to a little bit as I get ready for bed or when I'm traveling home tomorrow. But I did not get the Mark Part 2 one. Yeah, your hubby's still exhausted. Carol had him drugging all around that X back and forth. Did you ever get your media badge, Carol? The Return of Jeffries was good. All right, yeah. Watch the Instagram tomorrow. We'll see if I actually get out fishing or not. So quite possibly my first bass of this year could be a Florida bass and it could be a frog bass. That wouldn't be a bad way to start the year. Thanks, everyone. Be good. I'll throw up the replay for those that came in late. And hopefully we'll be back to our regular schedule next week. So be good, all. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll probably see you guys next week.